The government of Ghana is committed to ensuring visa-free for all Africans. For all Africans traveling to our country, and the process has begun to get the policy implemented this year. Before I go.
So it seems the African continent is slowly uniting in a way many people are not aware of. Look, in the late 2023, President William Ruto of Kenya announced that Kenya's borders will be open to visitors from all over Africa with no visas required.
In short, we are the first home of all humanity, and we joyfully embrace our ancestral task of welcoming humanity home. That Kenya is the home of humanity is a scientific fact that fills us with pride and underscores our rich heritage. It is with great pleasure, as President of this extraordinary country, to make a historic announcement of the decision of the government of Kenya. Beginning January 2024, Kenya will be a visa-free country. It shall no longer be necessary for any person from any corner of the globe to carry the burden of applying for a visa to come to Kenya. To echo.
A few days later, President Paul Kagame of Rwanda followed suit by also saying all Africans could enter Rwanda without visas.
The high cost of their travel to Africa and within Africa remains a barrier. Implementation of the Single African Air Transport Market is therefore an important priority. We also removed visa restrictions for citizens of every African country, as well as many other countries. Let there be no mistake about it. An African can get on a plane to Rwanda whenever they wish, and will not pay a thing to enter our country. We should not lose sight of our own continental market.
Meanwhile, countries like Benin, the Gambia and Seychelles have already implemented a system of visa-free access for all Africans in their countries. And now Ghana is following, as President Nana Akufo-Addo disclosed that Ghana is also working to implement a visa-free policy to allow Africans to travel to the country without the hassle of acquiring visas. He disclosed this at the opening ceremony of the 2024 African Prosperity Dialogue, which is an annual platform designed to drive intra-African trade and economic cooperation on the African continent. Let's enjoy the full speech of President Nana Akufo-Addo together. But before we hear from him, please don't forget to like the video and also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you very much for your support. Now, let's enjoy it together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that Africa is blessed. Africa is not a poor continent. In fact, she's too rich to be poor. Our continent has every natural resource imaginable: oil, gas, minerals, and an abundance of sunlight. We have some 65% of all arable land available to feed 9 billion people globally by 2050. And our continent is home to the most youthful population in the world. We have everything we need to transform Africa into a global powerhouse of the future. We must therefore remind ourselves consistently of the prospects she has, and our individual and collective responsibility to turn prospects into productivity that can generate prosperity for our peoples. I'm excited and proud that once again I've had the privilege to host the Africa Prosperity Dialogues, an excellent initiative aimed at facilitating understanding, dialogue, and commitment to the Africa Continental Free Trade Area initiative. I congratulate the organizers, the Africa Prosperity Network and its founder, for their vision and their ability to attract this formidable lineup of strategic partners. Should leave no one in doubt that this is a project that requires all the support we can muster. What the Africa Prosperity Dialogues have provided is a unique platform dedicated to mobilizing Africa's energetic private sector to own and drive the fulfillment of the promises that the AFCFTA presents. The theme for this year's dialogues speak directly to what we have to do if we're to make the AFCFTA meaningful. Without the capacity to industrialize, add value to our raw materials, and invest to build the social, digital, economic, and physical infrastructure that will connect our peoples and businesses to customers across Africa, intra-Africa trade will remain at the negligible lows that it has always been. Indeed, Africa accounts for only 3% of global trade, and intra-Africa trade is one of the lowest of any region globally. This is largely due to the colonial economic model, characterized by small individual economies, fragmented and disconnected regional markets, over reliance on the export of primary commodities, and the presence of low productive capacities, which have been well in existence for over a century. By fostering intra-Africa trade, the AFCFTA is going to ensure that it continues to create opportunities for businesses to expand beyond their borders, driving economic growth and creating a more integrated and interconnected continent. To unlock the full potential of trade for prosperity, let us prioritize the development of efficient transportation and logistics infrastructure, streamline trade processes, and embrace digital technologies that facilitate cross-border transactions without the need to depend on outside currencies. These dialogues must emphasize that Africa has to go heavy on the promotion of sustainable farming practices, coupled with targeted investments in infrastructure for innovation and technology, especially in agribusiness and industry that boost production, whilst ensuring the resilience of our agricultural sector in the face of evolving global challenges and climate change. These dialogues have to find ways to realize the commitments that have been made loudly and clearly for African governments to deepen their resolve in achieving the decisions reached in the compact. It must be representative of all sectors needed to carry Africa and ensure that the growth targets that are attained are sustainable, irrespective of future global challenges. These dialogues have to examine critically the responsibilities and expectations of the private sector and demand same of the public sector, and assess how both can work as partners to achieve the Africa we want. We must strengthen our resolve to work hand in hand with our governments in free and fair democratic systems of governance that promote safe and sound legal and institutional frameworks. Let us work to get the buy-in of the small trader, builder, farmer, and seamstress, and make them believe that having a single market can benefit them as well. As we delve into delivering prosperity in Africa, produce, add value, trade, the theme of this year's dialogues, Let us embark on a journey that goes beyond rhetoric, transcending dialogue into actionable plans for transformative change. I know you came here not just to talk, but to spark action. I also know that for many of you, you had to acquire a visa to come to this event, even though special arrangements for this conference reduced the visa acquisition fee by 50%, and you were thus able to receive your visa on arrival. The government of Ghana is committed to ensuring visa-free for all Africans. For all Africans traveling to our country, and the process has begun to get the policy implemented this year. Before I go, once again, I welcome you all warmly to Ghana, the host of the AFCFT Secretariat. Please enjoy our very warm hospitality, and let this visit translate into a compact document that heralds an era of shared prosperity for all of us in Africa.
So that is all for today's episode. Let us know your thoughts and suggestions on this in the comment section below. My name always remains Sheriff Haruna. Have a joyful life and see you in our next video. Macrao.